I keep saying this because it's so important and we're really getting to that moment. This is your last chance. If you're like me and believe in XRP for the long term, now's the time to take those final steps and get prepared. Don't miss out. Things could take off for XRP sooner than you think. We don't know exactly when it's going to happen, whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, or next month. But that's kind of the exciting part, isn't it? What if it's not next month or even next quarter? The point is, we're in that moment that chart analysts believe is leading up to something big where things could really take off. And I'm ready for that moon mission because to me, it feels almost inevitable at this point. Now, here's something I have to share because it's just too good to ignore. This is the third video in a row where I get to talk about this. And honestly, it cracks me up. Cointelegraph has been stepping outside the norm lately, consistently publishing a ton of super bullish XRP articles. And here's the latest one. How high can XRP price go? Spoiler alert, it's very bullish. If you're serious about XRP or any crypto trading, here's your power move. Sign up to Bybit using my exclusive link below. Not only do you get a welcome bonus, but you'll also help support the channel so we can keep bringing you top tier XRP insights before anyone else. It takes 30 seconds, no KYC for spot trading, and you can deposit XRP directly into a smooth, fast, and secure. Check that link below and get started now. Don't miss out on those trading bonuses while they last. What's going on with Cointelegraph lately? It's almost like the FUD stirring outlet we've come to know and maybe not love over the last decade has disappeared. Are they just tired of being wrong all the time? Or maybe they're realizing that being intellectually honest is the only way to maintain trust with their audience. And where did all those bearish XRP articles go? You know, the ones constantly predicting XRP would drop below $1? They've been at it for months. So why the sudden silence? It's kind of weird, right? Are they jumping on the moon mission now? I highlighted a different article to dive into this. Just to clarify, if you've watched my other videos, these are new articles, not repeats. They're by different authors from Cointelegraph, and I even found one from CoinDesk. The cool part, there's broad agreement across the board from chart analysts that something big is brewing. This is such an exciting time to be an XRP holder. Before we dive in, I just want to be upfront. I don't have a financial background, and this isn't financial advice. So please don't make any buying or selling decisions based on what I say or write. That said, things are really heating up and it looks like Bitcoin is going to lead the charge. The rest of the coins, including XRP, are likely to follow. There's an interesting post from chart analyst Crypto Michael that's worth talking about. Fun fact, he's the guy who accurately predicted XRP's breakout this market cycle. He stuck to his guns despite the criticism, and guess what? He was right. Oh, and he also nailed the call on the bottom of this market cycle. Okay, here's a blast from the past. On January 12th, 2023, about 2.5 years ago, he shared a post saying Bitcoin had bottomed at $15,400. Yep, he was spot on about that too. Fast forward to tonight, Saturday evening, and he's sharing another insightful post. He reminded everyone, if you missed my $15,000 Bitcoin bottom call, there's still time to jump in before the next major rally. It starts above $112,000 and the entire crypto market is going to go parabolic. All right, everyone, here's the deal. Everything is moving, including XRP. But I've got a good feeling about XRP. Of course, we'll see how it all plays out. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty optimistic that XRP is shaping up to be either the top performer or one of the best among the top 100 coins by market cap. Right now, since the election, XRP is actually sitting at number one. Yep, number one. You'd love to see it. It's been held back for years, but now the market is finally catching up. That's exactly what's happening here. Here's a post from a chart analyst with some exciting insights. Hashtag altcoins. Get ready to experience a real alt season. Stocks are already hitting new all-time highs, and crypto is likely to follow, but with much sharper moves. Historically, this has been the case. Markets tend to move together, but when crypto takes off, it really takes off. And let's talk about XRP. It has the potential to outperform almost everything else out there. It's happened before. If you were around in 2017, you know exactly what I mean. And even if you weren't, just take a look at the charts from late 2017 to early 2018. This is the crypto total market cap, excluding Bitcoin. Check out this post from a chart analyst and crypto expert. He's looking at the XRP dominance percentage chart, which shows XRP's market cap dominance. When he shared this on Saturday afternoon, XRP dominance was sitting at 3.98%. His take? It's gearing up to go way higher. He mentioned that XRP dominance is gaining strength, and all eyes are on the falling wedge pattern, which is almost fully formed. Once it breaks out, XRP could take off on an outperforming rally. Many analysts are predicting a dominance peak of 12 to 16% this cycle. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see it hit those levels. At the current market cap, if it captures that percentage of the market, the math is pretty straightforward. We're talking just under $7, maybe creeping closer to 10. And that's based on the current market cap for the asset class. But what happens if the entire crypto asset class doubles in size? Then you're looking at something closer to $20. Here's the thing. This isn't some wild prediction. XRP has hit around 32, 33% of the market before. Sure, it probably won't get that high again because there are way more competitors in the space now, but it doesn't need to. The bottom line, this is just another angle worth considering as you evaluate the potential here. Simple as that. Here's a post from chart analyst Dom about XRP on the higher timeframes. She pointed out that after checking the charts nearly 4 months later, they still look almost identical structurally. Nothing has really changed. The good news, as long as the range low is holding, this setup remains constructive. Dom also noted that this doesn't resemble the last 3 tops we've seen. Instead, it looks more like a complex retest of a significant 7-year resistance level. Key takeaway, take a look at the top from the last cycle. He highlighted it in the chart. Back in 2017 into early 2018, we saw something similar to what's happening now. Take a look at where we are. Does this look like a market top to you? Nope. This is clearly a consolidation phase. If you've been paying attention, this pattern should look familiar. In the last 2 market cycles, XRP consolidated for about 6 months before finishing the rally with an explosive final burst. And that last burst was even bigger than the first one in terms of USD. It's pretty clear when you look at it, right? Of course, if you're new here, no worries. I'm happy to break it all down for you. When alt season hits and the market is buzzing with euphoria, it's no surprise that everyone starts chasing whatever's skyrocketing, including XRP. But when something shoots up that fast, it's only natural for people to want to take profits, which can lead to sharp drops. However, if we're not near the end of the market cycle, like earlier this year when XRP hit $3.40 after its first big bump, XRP has been holding steady above $2 for about 6 months now, which is exactly the kind of pattern you'd expect if the market cycle isn't over yet. What we're seeing in the charts right now doesn't look like the typical end of cycle behavior. It feels like there's more to come. So here's the deal. This could be one of the last big opportunities. Any day now, things could take off. And if you're not ready, might be too late to jump in. It's simple. Either you're in when it happens or you're not. Here's an interesting post from Jungle Inc., who I think considers himself a bit of a chart analyst and sometimes shares content along those lines, though not always. He's also a fellow XRP YouTuber, which is always great. This time he's sharing a fascinating chart about XRP whale flows and price rally patterns. There's a valuable lesson in here that I've been talking about for years, and it's so clear. You just need one good look to see it. Check this out. See the blue line? That's whale flows in the millions. And then there's the yellowish goldish line, or whatever color that is, showing the price of XRP. Notice something? Every time the whales buy, the price of XRP goes up afterward. Pretty interesting, right? This chart only goes back to August of last year, but it's been consistently true. Here's what he said about it. This graph highlights the connection between whale flows and XRP's price over time. Between August and December 2024, whale activity shifted big time from strongly negative to positive with a whopping 250 million increase. This change lined up perfectly with a massive XRP price rally, jumping from 50 cents to about $3. It looks like the whales were stocking up before the price took off. Pretty interesting, right? Now, I know this chart doesn't go back to the dawn of time, but trust me, this is a consistent pattern. That's why what we're seeing here is so exciting. Just look at that blue line. It's all about the whales moving up. Now we just wait for the price to catch up. So here's the scoop. It's saying that from January through April 2025, whale flows drop sharply. During that time, prices peak and then start to fall. Why? Because whales likely start cashing out while retail investors jump in. Makes sense, right? When XRP hit its peak, some big holders decided it was time to take profits. Classic move. But here's where it gets interesting. After that, they started buying again. According to him, between May and June 2025, whale flows turned positive, adding around 300 million, while the price stabilizes at around $2. This could mean we're looking at a repeat of previous rally cycles. The takeaway: whales tend to load up before big rallies and sell off when prices peak. Their moves often signal what's coming next. So here's a big takeaway. Their moves often signal major shifts. Do you really think these whales are going to get caught off guard? These big players in the market don't just make a splash. They know what they're doing. Are they going to stumble or rake in a boatload of profit? My bet's on the latter. Oh, and this, how high can XRP go? I just wanted to quickly touch on it. Another article, another positive take on XRP, which is refreshing since it's not something we see every day. It seems like they're not quite done being critical of XRP, but at this point, they probably feel like they have to cover it. It's just too hard to ignore the reality. If they stray too far from what's actually happening, their audience might start losing trust in them. Now, check this out. They're finally highlighting something every analyst out there has been buzzing about. XRP is showing a textbook symmetrical triangle pattern, which hints at a potential 75% rally. Here's the deal. Since XRP peaked near $3.40 back in February, it's been forming this classic symmetrical triangle with converging trend lines. These patterns usually suggest the continuation of a strong trend, and in this case, the outlook leans bullish. By June 28th, XRP was making an exciting move, testing the upper trend line of a triangle pattern for a potential breakout. The 50-day EMA, that red wave around $2.20, is adding some extra resistance. But here's the fun part. If XRP can break through this resistance zone, it could spark a rally toward the triangle's upside target of about $3.81. That's a potential jump of 75% from current levels, possibly by July. It looks like we're heading for another all-time high. The official e-price discovery is $3.81, but that doesn't mean it's a help. If it's not, we need, actually for weeks now, that every analyst out there is warning about XRP nearing all-time high. The official e-price discovery, it's been forming all year. And like always, it's likely to break out before it even hits the apex. Translation, big moves are coming sooner rather than later. Oh, and let's not forget the whales. I won't dive into all the details here. We've covered whales plenty, but the key takeaway is this. XRP whale accumulation is adding even more fuel to the breakout thesis. This comes from CryptoQuant, and it's really interesting to see them highlighting this. Honestly, it's refreshing to finally hear some clear, sensible insights from them. For so long, it felt like their approach didn't make much sense. Well, actually, I do get it. It seems like they've been stuck with what I'd call XRP derangement syndrome. I just can't figure out why that's been the case. But now this shift feels like a breath of fresh air, and things are about to get really exciting. It's no coincidence that so many credible analysts out there believe something big is coming. It's the same kind of buzz and messaging we saw leading up to XRP's breakout back in November. Some people thought things might keep moving after 340, but it didn't exactly play out that way. There wasn't the same unanimous take from chart analysts this time around. Instead, a lot of them were saying, looks like we might need to move sideways for a bit. I've been covering all of that throughout the year. But now we're back at a point where the chatter is shifting again. Just like before last November, analysts are saying, guys, this thing is going to move. And this time it feels like most of them are on the same page. All right, so this is it. Your last chance. What you choose to do is totally up to you. Nobody really knows what's going to happen with the price of XRP. And I'll be the first to admit that includes me. But I'm feeling good about the XRP I've got. My belief in it is solid, whether things turn out better or worse. And I'm betting on better. I made my choice and now I'm letting it play out. Let's see where this goes. Personally, I'm thinking life-changing wealth could be on the horizon. But hey, just a reminder, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't go buying or selling anything just because of what I say. That's not the way to make smart decisions. Do your own research and make the choice that's right for you. Thanks for watching. If you got value from this breakdown, drop a like, subscribe for real XRP updates, and don't forget to check out Bybit using my link below. You get a deposit bonus and it helps the channel grow. Win-win.